Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, Sean. I'm just announcing in my channels and stuff that I'm live. And the market is open now. All right. London High just got smacked on NQ and ES. We're also hitting into on ES this 15-minute fair value gap. And we're in a 15-minute fair value gap right now for NQ. And I'm interested to see how we close this 5-minute candle with this high here. Bitcoin, I want to see how it reacts to this 15-minute fair value gap that's in this chop here, and to see if we happen to come down as low as London low down here, or even this 15-minute fair value gap down here. So I got a lot of what I've been noticing. What is going on? Oh, my Discord. I was like, why is it blue down there? Let me hide that for now. What I've been noticing is that when I was doing the back testing, I was getting the habit of what's called just pattern trading, and that's not good, right? Pattern trading is where you basically just look for a 5-minute sweep of liquidity and a 1-minute inverse fair value gap, right? You're not taking into account, structure. You're not taking into account ranges. You're not taking into account fair value gaps. I want to start getting better at doing that, where when we're looking for our 1-minute kill shot, we're also taking into account, where our footprints that we're in or currently looking at, what are we in regards to our range? What are we in regards to, the overall bias? Now we're not going to get stuck in biases, but we're just going to be paying more attention to like a technical analysis of like where the chart is. Like ES and NQ, if you go to the 4-hour, right, they definitely look like they could come and attack, lower. They have this impulse move. We're in this fair value gap. Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. And we can definitely, we're in a 4-hour fair value gap. We could definitely see some bearish momentum here. Bitcoin just had a really big impulse move, broke structure to the upside. We could see some bearish momentum here. And same for ES. ES looks pretty similar to NQ. We're tapping this 4-hour order block. We have a 15-minute fair value gap we just tapped into. Like, we could see some bearish retracements here soon. But if the candles say, hey, we're going to continue going upwards and breaking structure and stuff, we want to take note of that too. Sweetsy, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. It looks like NQ. Oh, I don't know. I'm not going to speak too soon. We got 7 seconds. We'll see. Is it going to close below this? ES is. NQ closed above. ES closed below. I don't love that NQ closed above. I think we're going to see some bullish momentum here. Okay. I want to see, do we start leaving fair value gaps outside this opening range on the 1 minute time frame? Because if so, that would probably indicate we're going to keep pushing higher. But for me, there's nothing really here at the moment. Okay, so no fair value gap there. Um, 637. Let's see on the 15-minute time frame. Have we gotten anything new? No, we haven't. Not even on Bitcoin. Yeah, nothing new. Okay, ES closed outside of the opening range with a fair value gap, while NQ failed to make a fair value gap. And ES is still in this 15-minute fair value gap here, so Bitcoin looks like it's breaking down over here. It's hitting into some of these key levels that I'm really interested in. Where I really would like to see Bitcoin hit is this 15-minute fair value gap, right? Or even lower, actually. Like if we come down to Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin's very bullish. I would even like to see it coming down to like these fair value gaps. That's that retracement, and then catch the continuation. But we'll see how it reacts to these lows here that it's currently at. These are important. This is a very important area for Bitcoin right now. NQ and ES aren't really giving me anything right now, so I'm really focused in on Bitcoin over here because it's at some key levels. I want to see how it closes below these levels. Actually, let's leave that there just to see. All right, 18 seconds. And it looks like Bitcoin is closing through all these lows and giving very strong bearish candles. Yep. Yeah, it closed below that low, closed below this 5-minute low and London low. So Bitcoin is looking pretty bearish. I want to see where it retraces here. And ideally, like I was saying before, this where Asia low and this 15-minute fair value gap are kind of like the sweet spot. But also I want to see how it reacts to these other 15-minute fair value gaps and if it gives us a 1-minute kill shot in one of them. Because if we can get a 1-minute kill shot in one of those 15-minute fair value gaps, that's a high probability trade. And that's what I'm really trying to be better at, only taking those really high probability setups. NQ, I think, is finally leaving a fair value gap outside of the opening. Oh no, it doesn't have any fair value gaps outside of the opening range. ES does, this one here, but still not totally convinced with it. Maybe NQ will come to this 15-minute fair value gap, and then there's a day high above ES, and then the next nearest important fair value gap's up here. All right. Okay, we'll see how NQ and ES and these guys end up forming. And we'll also be watching the 15-minute time frame, just to watch if the 15-minute time frame is creating any fair value gaps. So like this fair value gap here, we'll see what if we end up inverting this fair value gap on Bitcoin. I assume we're gonna invert these fair value gaps here on NQ and ES. The 15-minute candle closes in about a minute. So, or really wherever this 5-minute candle closes is where our 15-minute candle closes. So if this 5-minute closes above this fair value gap on NQ, we can erase this 15-minute fair value gap because it no longer matters. This Bitcoin one no longer matters. It closed through it. And then this ES one, if it closes above it, it would no longer matter because it inverted it. And we'd instead focus on other fair value gaps. And then I would start looking at my 5-minute fair value gaps too. I only really care about 5-minute fair value gaps once the market has opened and as they form as the market is open, right? So like ES has this 5-minute fair value gap, NQ has this one, and Bitcoin has this one. So price, if it's going to either retest those, should retrace and maybe come give us something in one of those, right? So it's just stuff to look for. Or if we're going to get something up here, right? And if there's 5-minute fair value gaps in here, we know, okay, maybe we can't target, you know, external range liquidity, but maybe we target internal range liquidity of those 5-minute fair value gaps. All right, yeah, we're going to delete this guy. We're going to delete this guy. And we're going to wait to see if we can delete this guy or not. And then we're going to start adding some of our 5-minute fair value gaps. Okay. And we can delete this one on ES. All right. All right. And then ES. Okay, there we go. Now we have some of our 5-minute fair value gaps marked out. Now we just kind of watch, see what kind of plays out here. All right, Bitcoin is hitting into our 15-minute fair value gap down here. And I'm interested to see, do we start seeing some, you know, buy pressure here, or is it going to get, I think if anything with these higher 15-minute fair value gaps, I think if anything, we're going to push through them. And then once we hit Asia low in this 15-minute fair value gap is where we should really start seeing potential flip opportunity. Let's check the 15-minute. Yeah, 15 minutes still forming. This next candle will inform us if we get anything like a new fair value gap or something. I really like Apex. And the Apex is also the one I just created the video on. That actually helps you guys, like, walk you through, guys, like my exact strategy of how to get funded with Apex. Another one I like too is Top Step. I don't have a code for them. No one has a code for them. They don't even do like any affiliates. But Top Step is another good one. Another good one, I wish I had a code for this one too, but Take Profit Trader, they're a good one. I only have a code for Apex, but I do. That's the main one I use. I really only use Apex and Top Step right now. Once I kind of hopefully get, like, my goal is to like work through Apex and Top Step, get payouts with them, kind of max it out where I get to a live account. Then once I get those live accounts or get offered that with Apex and Top Step, then I'll move to like Take Profit Trader, Alpha Futures, Funded Next. There's a lot of other prop firms. Yeah. Oh, sweet. I hope did you like it, Sean? Was it helpful? Let me know if you have any feedback. I love feedback because I'm creating this for you guys. So if you have any feedback that you would say, I wish you did this or that, like whatever, please give me feedback and I will I'll always try to improve. Good. But yeah, if you use code Maniac, you'll get a, right now they have actually like their best, this is the best sale Apex has ever done. Minus if it's their 90% sale, because this one is actually, I don't know, I think this one is even better than their 90% off because their activation fee is $40. So you're getting a funded account under $100, which is like almost no prop firm will give you a funded account for under $100 and you're a complete cost before you get in. So I think this is like Apex's best sale that they've ever done. Because usually when they do the 90% off, it was 90% off, but I think the activation fees were like $100 at least. Sometimes even like $140 activation fees. So like you're still paying, even though it's 90% off for an eval, you're still paying a big activation fee. So I don't think anybody beats Apex in regards to cost. I don't think so. People say I think Alpha Futures is cheaper, but I don't think so. Because I'm pretty sure Alpha Futures, they're $100 a month with no activation fee, but still you're paying $100. And then if you would do the other accounts, they're maybe cheaper for the eval, but then you pay $150 for the activation fee, so you're still paying more. Top Step is not the cheapest. That's just, they're not the cheapest, and they almost never run sales. So it's kind of a bummer that way. But they are really good in regards to their payout policies and stuff. Like, I like Top Step. I know some people hate them, but I mean, all the prop firms kind of suck. But you just got to play the rules and figure out how to, use it to your advantage. So the 5-minute time frame here is retesting this opening range, and also to retesting this 5-minute fair value gap. You have some of these 1-minute fair value gaps that it's also just retested. But there's no bearish fair value gaps to the downside. And there's not like, bro, there's not a single fair value gap on, oh yeah, there is right here. There's not like there's only one fair value gap in this leg up from basically this start all the way up to here, not like only one little fair value gap. ES has this one. Yeah, 2. The momentum to the upside isn't very strong. Bitcoin is straight up dumping right now, dude. If you literally just would have market sold at market open, you would be up very nicely. But yeah, Bitcoin's doing what I want. I really want to see what it does at Asia low down there. What's up, Robo? Hope you're having a great Monday. Happy Monday. Do we get what? How? Okay, we got 6.5 minutes until we get a new 15-minute fair value or 15-minute candle here. We'll see. Does Bitcoin end up closing through all these 15-minute fair value gaps and disrespecting them, or does it start to respect them and bouncing off? This one at this point would be the one that, if anywhere, but I really think it's gonna target like Asia low and that 15-minute fair value gap down there. Good to see you too. That's a bummer. Yeah, that's a bummer. Oh. I know. I wish the U.S. shutdown was done. Oh, that's good. That's good to know, Sean. I thought the same thing. I was like, oh, that is the model explanation is short and quick. Like, I don't. Ideally, right? I would be able to show like 3 different setups, like a long, a short, and a long in different market situations. I think that's what I'm gonna do in the next video. Is I'm literally just gonna create a video, on the 1-minute kill shot, like. In the video, explain pre-market analysis, explain my analysis on the charts, then explain with that analysis what I look for, right? How is price reacting to fair value gaps? Then we look for the 1-minute kill shot, right? Like give a real explanation. I think that's gonna be December's video. I'm gonna try to do one video like this a month. Just like a really good video, really good explainer. Yeah, a deep in-depth on just one model. And then I'll do one for each of the models. So like a 1-minute kill shot one, 5-minute trigger, and then the sniper's trap. Like do a one video just for each of those models that I have currently. Yeah, I think the guy did an amazing job. Like, I'm really happy with him. And it looks like we're gonna have a pretty cool relationship over the time, because I really liked his editing skills. He was good. I like the reaction that this 5-minute is giving in this fair value gap. But there's no like, what I was kind of hoping to see is like, maybe do we start getting some inverse fair value gaps here on the 1-minute time frame, but there's nothing. And maybe the 5-minute will come and, give me something in this area. But I want to see if the 1-minute kill shot will present itself like in this fair value gap, or maybe the next one. If anybody in the chat needs a video editor, I can share my guy with you guys. He's a Fiverr guy, and I looked through a bunch of guys. I was looking all over. I was messaging people, and I was like, man, I really like this guy's editing, and he's well priced. Yeah, I think NQ and ES are about to continue here. They retested the opening range. you have this fair value gap formed on NQ right here. This would be where I'd be like, okay, now I'm kind of willing to take a long here. But for me, I only stick to my model. I'm trying to just stick to one model right now. I'm not trying to play around with a bunch of things. But like if I were to use like what's called like the first candle rule or like the opening range breakout, this would be a good one because, right, price broke out, didn't show any displacement, came and retested, and then off the retest and a 5-minute fair value gap, you get a 1-minute displacement here. With the retest of that fair value gap, my position I would have wanted to do would be like this. And then you would target like, you could target the 15-minute fair value gap up here. You can target external range liquidity. Like just targeting this external range liquidity high is a 2R. Targeting 15-minute fair value gap is 4R. Same for ES. ES didn't leave any displacement here off the retest, but what I do like with ES is look at how it reacted when it came back down to this 1-minute fair value gap. You got this doji candle, then a big engulfing, a big nice bullish candle. You could have taken the risk of like entering on that or even entering on the doji candle. But I'd probably want to wait on the 1-minute time frame here for like a fair value gap, which it looks like it might create one here. And then you would want to do like this. So this is another strategy I'm kind of like working on. It's like that opening range strategy. So now there's a 1-minute fair value gap. And now I'd wait for that retest of this. Because you were in the 5-minute fair value gap. You retested the opening range. You've respected 1-minute bullish footprints. And now to wait for that retest of this fair value gap and then target, you can target 2R, which would be a little higher actually. 2R, or you can go to higher time frames and try to target like external range liquidity and stuff like that. So this is another one. I want to create a model with the opening range breakout because then you're gonna get, there you go. Now you're tapped in on this one. Let's see if this one works out. But then if you can create an opening range breakout strategy or in a model, then you're gonna get a move like either way in the morning, right? Like you're not gonna miss something or have to wait for something a little later. Like in Q right now, you would have already locked in 2R here, 2.15. And then that'd be my next TP or like next target could be that 15-minute fair value gap, or you just zoom out to like 15-minute time frames and stuff of external range liquidity and things like that. But let me go to the 5-minute. Did we get a 15? Yep. Okay, so this 15-minute fair value gap's done with. And we got this 15-minute fair value gap on Bitcoin. So I'm going to erase these 5-minute ones. I'm just going to keep the 15-minute one. And then I'll leave this 5-minute. And then we got this. Okay, we'll leave that 5-minute. And then we got $15. Okay. Okay. There we go. And we're just gonna keep updating footprints as we kind of get more, get more into the market. Can you explain how the sniper trap works? Yeah. Sniper's trap, we haven't gone one this morning. Yeah, we haven't gone one this morning, but sniper's trap is kind of like what is called a change in state of delivery, or you just kind of go off of, you're going off like that range and structure. So like for me right here, we're missing one of the confluences which is a liquidity sweep, but we do have a sniper's trap in this level, right? What is the sniper's trap for this 5-minute time frame? It would look like this for in queue right now. Okay. And then you would target 2R. Really, sniper's trap, you could even do points. So like 30 points, 40 points. But what it is like you're playing off those order blocks. So price, right, has displaced out of the opening range, leaving fair value gaps on the 5-minute. It's inverted on the higher time frame, the 15-minute. We've inverted that big 15-minute fair value gap we had here. Price came down, tested 5-minute fair value gaps, and respected them, right, leaving us a bullish order block. So your entry would be at the top of this order block, stop loss to the bottom of the order block, right? Sniper's trap is a little bit more dynamic, where like you have a lot of entry opportunities. Sniper's trap, you could have entered off the fair value gap, right? You could have set your limit on the fair value gap because you've gotten inverse fair value gaps on the 15-minute time frame. You've gotten displacement on the 5. You've broken out of the opening range, and then you wait for the retest of the fair value gap, or you can wait for the order block, right? And then also Sniper's trap integrates 5-minute inverse fair value gaps too, and stuff like that. So it's kind of hard to explain because I don't really have a great example here, minus this right here. This retest of this fair value gap after displacement on the 5, then this order block. That's all good confirmation that price could go higher in targeting these 15-minute fair value gaps. Okay. Like ES over here, this could be a sniper's trap entry right here. Why? You have the displacement, you have the push down, you have the test of the fair value gaps, right? After you've inverted a 15-minute fair value gap on the higher time frame. Then you enter in on the first bullish candle, right? Because you don't have an order block yet. You'd enter in on the first bullish candle out of this fair value gap, because it's like, okay, there's potentially a bullish respect of this. I'm going to take the early risk of entering on this first bullish candle here. Or you could have taken the entry on the fair value gap, retest, right? Even all the way down to potentially this guy. I think this one even tapped you in. Barely. And then you target 2R, right? So Sniper's Trap has multiple entry strategies, entry models, depending on how confident you'd be in the trade. Like, for me, on this ES one, I would be pretty confident to enter on the retest of the fair value gap, right? Be like, okay, this looks pretty bullish. 15 minutes displacing, 5 minutes displacing, 15-minute inverted fair value gaps. It's looking very bullish. Let's take the risk of taking, an early trade. And stop loss can be to your discretion on this one, right? There's not a clear, always at this spot. Stop loss for this could go to the bottom of, this would be a crazy stop loss, but stop loss could go to the bottom of the first displacement candle, depending on your entry. Like, say if you entered on this spot right here. Say if you entered on, this one, my stop loss would probably want to be a little tighter and like right below this fair value gap here. And then if we get the order block, my stop loss would definitely want to be at the bottom of that order block. So Sniper's Trap is a little bit more advanced in regards to like it's discretionary of how you can, enter and utilize it. Did that make sense? I feel like I didn't explain that super well. I hope that made sense. The thing I like the best with the Sniper's Trap is just like the 1-minute kill shot, a very clear like liquidity sweep, like a manipulation, but you don't always need that. And this is today's example. Today's market move is like an example of like you don't need the liquidity sweep. because clearly there's bullish displacement and momentum. %75%. Okay, yeah. That's why I want to make those videos that like just like a sniper strap video where we literally just talk about sniper strap. And I can give you examples of every entry type, every stop loss type, how to trail stop losses, things like that. But yeah, I think December, this month I'm gonna work on my 1 minute kill shot one. Hopefully get the video editor on it pretty soon, and then hopefully have that video, a 1 minute kill shot video, up in December. Before the end of the year. That'd be the goal, is to have the next one before the end of the year. Okay, we just got a 1 hour, a fresh 1 hour candle too. So we'll be paying attention to that also. Okay, Bitcoin's starting to have some retracement here. I want to see if Bitcoin will maybe give us a 1 minute kill shot, like in this 5 minute fair value gap, to catch a continuation of this downward momentum and like this fair value gap, or maybe even if it retraces up to this 15 minute fair value gap. So I'm kind of watching it over on the left on the 1 minute time frame, 5 minute on here, to see if we get something on Bitcoin as it retraces after this big move to the downside. I'm gonna change the ES one real fast to like here. And then we'll trail 5 minute order blocks. Yeah, I'm liking ES and NQ right here. NQ is respecting this order block. ES is about to make its first order block. So this would be good. You would literally be able to move your stops all the way up to here after this. Yeah, 9 points. Okay. Oh, I didn't. Where did I have it? Right there. So if you get this order block, this would be the signal. Okay, I can move stops up now. Now you have two options here. You can move stops to this order block, or if you want to be a little bit less aggressive, you can move stops to this order block. Right? So you have kind of like two options. For me, I'd want to be more aggressive on this because price shouldn't be coming back down to this one. It should now like displace, attack this external range liquidity and be like aggressive. Because remember, the higher time frame on NQ and ES is ultimately bearish. So we are going against, right, the bigger trend. And that's why I'd want to be a little bit more aggressive, because this could flip on us at any moment and start going bearish. Now, this could be where that bearish momentum ends, right? And like it starts actually becoming back into a bullish momentum. But it's smart to protect yourself if you're going against the ultimate trend, right? Now, if we were going short, I'd say Like if we're going short, right, with the ultimate trend, the bigger picture, I'd say let's go like farther back, because I think this is gonna work, but we could mess around here, right? Exactly. Exactly. That's why, like with Bitcoin right now, I am not interested at taking it long, because on the higher time frame, right, on Bitcoin, it had a really big bullish impulse move, and it needs to come retrace, you know, to some key levels before I look for those longs. And I think right now it's just Bitcoin's just doing that retracement until we get to like Asia low, this 15-minute fair value gap, or even this one would be where I would want to be like, okay, let's maybe now try to, you know, that knife is now probably hit the ground. And I think with journaling last Friday and recapping what happened last Friday, that's what made me realize, like, why am I not? I should be paying attention to these levels. I should be paying attention to the bigger picture of these things. I shouldn't be ignoring that. So something interesting here in Q, right? We might get a 1 minute kill shot here. ES didn't quite hit to that level, right? We haven't inverted it yet. I'm gonna delete some of these drawings just because I want to lock in here. ES doesn't have any bullish fair value ups, minus this one down here we already have marked out. Okay, that 5 minute candle closed, right? That big large wick failing to displace those highs, going with the higher time frame analysis, right? Oh, am I not logged in? Oh, that was good that I checked that. Okay. On Bitcoin? Yes, yeah, right? Like if Bitcoin engulfed this, actually Bitcoin here would actually, you have a little fair value gap here on the 5 minute. You have an inverse fair value gap actually, entry, which would be like the 5 minute trigger, right? You have big displacement, pushes up, creates a little fair value gap. You invert that immediately. That could be a 5 minute trigger one. 5 minute triggers are a little bit more simple because all they're doing is like looking for those inverse fair value gaps. That's literally all you're looking for on the 5 minute. I'm interested to see what does Nasdaq do here. Nasdaq and ES could just be creating an order block to continue momentum to the upside. Okay, 4 hour did just invert this 4-hour fair value gap on NQ. And we're almost testing this 4-hour order block. What about ES? ES looks pretty bullish too. We've inverted all these 4-hour fair value gaps. 15-minute could be creating an order block here. Yeah, I don't think let me see something. Yeah, we're not at like a day high or nothing. The nearest day high is way up there. So I'm just like looking at all my higher time frames to see like, are we at anything that would create a place to reverse for NQ and continue that downward momentum? But I just don't think we're really at a spot to do that. Like this short here on NQ would be considered a low probability trade, right? Why is it low probability? We're not in a higher time frame footprint. That could be important. Now, if this setup was in this box right here, this 15-minute fair value, I'd be like, okay, now that's a little bit more higher probability, right? We've hit an imbalance and seem to be respecting it. That could indicate we're going to fall now. Not to say that we still can't fall, but I'm trying to stick to only the high probability trades that I'm feeling really confident in. So we'll see how this 1-minute candle closes, but it might invert this fair value gap here. ES failed to sweep that high. So ES never even tested that high. We didn't invert it. We still have yet to invert this fair value gap. You're heading out. Yeah. Good analysis on the higher time frame. Thank you. And that was literally just from, so you're seeing a difference, right? And I would say the difference is coming from 2 or 3 things I did this last week. Journaled on Friday and journaled my week, right? Last week sucked. I mean, you saw it, Sean. You were here last week. I was not, in the beginning of the week, I was at a horrible mind space, right? I was very emotional in the beginning of the week, ruined, like the start of the week last week was just terrible. So I journaled on Friday, right? What could I do better? What did I mess up? What did I suck at, right? Then over the weekend and Friday, a lot of Friday, like I spent the majority of Friday back testing. And I was just like, okay, let me get back in. Let me like readjust my mind. I back tested a ton, okay? And I back tested with like pattern trading. And I was like, hey, pattern trading doesn't work. We need to integrate analysis, right? We have to integrate analysis. That is a must in any trading model. And then last night, I spent a lot of time looking at higher time frames, getting my analysis, marking out previous levels that are still open that we could attack. And then also this morning, spending time marking out my levels that formed over the night, right? These 15-minute fair value gaps, these 15-minute fair value gaps down here with London and Asia session, and said, okay, we're going to be watching this stuff and we're going to be waiting for price to go to those levels because they should be filling those imbalances if they're going to do a continuation or a reversal. And yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's another video idea of like how to, you know, practice or like how to like fix mistakes and use back testing as an edge in the market. ES and NQ might be creating order blocks now. ES finally might be creating an order block here, but it's getting pretty choppy. I'm interested to see how does Bitcoin react here. Does it keep pushing higher and then push down, or is it going to give us something like in this 5-minute fair value gap that's currently in? Oh wait, do we have good thing I checked the 15. We have this 15-minute fair value gap that formed on Bitcoin, and nothing on NQ or ES, nothing new. So there we go. We just tapped into that 15-minute fair value gap on Bitcoin. So this could be where maybe we see, you know, I'd want to see a large wick off this high here, this high right here that's on Bitcoin, a large wick, and then on the 1-minute time frame, you know what we look for, those inverse fair value gaps. But it looks like the sniper's trap is actually still playing out on ES and Bitcoin. ES is taking a little bit longer, right? But we were here, we did like 8.75 points, and you're about to get your order block. So it looks like sniper's trap over here on ES, and then the one we did over here on NQ was the order block. It looks like it's finally playing out for you. So there you go. On NQ, you can now move stops up even higher. You've taken off almost all your risk, and same for ES. You can take off about 50% of your risk now because we trail order blocks. So that's what the sniper's trap would look like right now for ES and NQ, right? You would have also had the potential sniper's trap opportunity with this sweep of liquidity up here, but again, price pushed down, didn't create an order block, didn't do anything here on NQ, so you actually never got a sniper's trap entry to go short. But if you were trading the sniper's trap, you would have been already on in this position going long, so you would have just been still in that one, holding through that until you got any confirmation to close or stopped out. Okay, Bitcoin might give us something here. It's failing to displace this high, right? Leaving us wicks. They're not huge, but it is Bitcoin's starting to invert some fair value gaps. I don't love it. I kind of wanted the wick to be a little bit more aggressive, but it seems to be respecting that fair value gap. That 15-minute fair value gap right here. I'm watching the 1 minute time frame on my left screen and seeing if we end up getting something or not. Okay, yeah, Bitcoin still has yet to invert a fair value gap, so I'm hoping we can get like a really good wick, not something really the fair value gap if to really get a continuation to continue going short, the fair value gap I'd really like to see is this one up here, where like London low is still at the opening range, like a retest of that one, and if we got something, that one would be really good. Also for ES over here, you got an order block, so if you wanted to be patient, again, you could have waited for the order block to form and you would have gotten tapped in on that too. So if you wanted to do ES, right, this could have been another entry spot. You would have got tapped in, and it's just being a little bit more patient, right? If you want to be more patient than quick to enter, you could have waited for that order block and then the retest of that order block. Yeah, Bitcoin's pushing higher now. And again, price here is failing to displace these highs on NQ, but again, we're not really in like a key point of interest for me. We're not like at a spot that like I could see we can start going down, but again, it could, but I just don't have high confidence in this level that we're at. I'd want to come up really to this 15-minute fair value gap or this one up here. Okay, we just got another fresh 15-minute candle. And look, the 15-minute time frame on NQ just created a bullish order block, right? So if we get any kind of 5-minute retracement, and that just might be 15-minute time frame tapping that and retesting that 15-minute order block. So Yeah, like here. Here's that 15-minute order block line that we haven't even tested yet. So if price should hit that line there. Same for ES. ES looks like it tests that order block too. Bitcoin just tested this order block here. You could have literally just gotten tapped in on this sniper's trap entry. And you would target 2R. You would literally get tapped in and it would go straight to your TP. Or not straight to it. You're almost there, but... I still don't really see anything over here on Bitcoin. You are inverting 1 minute fair value gaps and pushing out of this 15-minute fair value gap. I do like that, but it's not the 1 minute kill shot model, right? But it is good at giving good bearish indication. I definitely want to see how this 5-minute candle closes. Yeah, like that's pretty. I like that candle, but still not an indicator for me yet. Okay, that 15-minute order block has been tested. And now you hope. Now if like we were in this in Q position, now after it's been tested, you're like, okay, now keep pushing, breaking above these wicks. Yep. Yeah, so if you want to be really, really patient, right? Opening range, price displaced off the opening range, push down, created that order block here, right? If you want to be patient, you know, if you want to be a patient trader, you wait for price to, because this is an untested order block. You know, like ideally this would be like the target. That'd be a really sick trade. Like you wait for that order block to be tested, stop loss would go to the top of the order block, and then you target 2R or external range liquidity, you know. But the risk here is that price, right, has inverted fair value gaps and potentially inverting more. The risk is, you know, price is flipping here. That's your risk at waiting for this order block. But it still definitely could work, right? Because your stop loss is at the very top of this 15-minute fair value gap. And so price could definitely still come and test this 15-minute fair value gap before it continues to the downside further. But it looks like it's playing out. I mean, you would definitely hit 2R. I think you're at 2R right now. Yep, you would have just hit 2R. You would have just hit 2R off that order block. And now, for me, stop loss would be at break even. And then the next target would be the 5-minute low down there. So now if the price comes back up to this entry, you'd be tapped out of this position. But I think it looks like it's gonna continue on. And the 1 minute's inverting fair value gaps. Okay, so this ES1 failed. Actually, not yet. Yeah, there you go. This ES1 failed. Now this in Q could be that order block. So like something you could do with this long that you're in, if it creates the order block, you just close that long off that, and then you try to tag in on that short opportunity. Like same for ES, right? Failing to displace all these highs. And creating a order block on the 5-minute on ES. Oh, you are testing that. You are testing this 15-minute fair value gap though too on ES. Okay, NQ just tapped you out of this one over here too. So you're out of both of these positions. What I would love to see on Bitcoin over here is I would love to see Bitcoin coming up and sweep this like high that it made on the 5-minute. Leaving a large wick, I'd be open to taking a short there. And like ideally, when it comes and sweeps that high, it even would tap into this 15-minute fair value gap, leaving a big wick off of that and continuing down. Because now that ES and NQ look like they're about to rip down Bitcoin, that should give fuel for Bitcoin to continue down also. Okay, we're gonna delete this guy. This guy's irrelevant now, and see what price does here in the 15-minute fair value gap. Yeah, look at that. Oh, dude, look at that price action. That is terrible. That is terrible, dude. Keep me out of that. There is a 1-minute kill shot, like low probability trade. But again, we're not looking for the low probability pattern trading, right? This would be pattern trading. Analysis would not be on our side because it's not in a higher time frame footprint. It's not in an area of interest. It just created the pattern of a liquidity sweep and an inverse fair value gap, right? So that makes it a low probability trade. Now, can you take the risk? Yeah, you could. But for me, I'm trying to be better at sticking to those high probability setups. I'm gonna take some notes on the 1 minute or the video ideas for December real fast while we're just kind of waiting for something. Okay. 5 minute on ES, just create this 5 minute fair value gap. Does anybody know? I looked up yesterday. Is tomorrow a bank holiday? Like a no trade day? Because it's Veterans Day. I looked up on CME and like a lot of the important places. It says that tomorrow is not a no trade day. It says that it's like a normal day. It's a holiday, but like still everything goes as normal. Can anybody in the chat reassure that? Like tomorrow's still a trading day, right? I looked it up and I was like looking and doing some research on it. I just wanted to make sure because I know it is Veterans Day. And if you are a veteran, no idea. Yeah. I think I looked on TradeEvate and like CME and it says that tomorrow is a normal trading day. I'm going to go off of that and I'll be trading tomorrow morning, but I know it is a holiday. But if you are a veteran in the chat too, I just want to say thank you for your service and thank you for the sacrifices you have done. Bitcoin here is giving you a fresh order block, and you can actually move stop loss now into profit. So that's a nice little gift for you. And it looks like Bitcoin is ripping down now. I'm kind of bummed it didn't give us 1 minute kill shot continuation opportunity, but it is what it is. Okay. There you go. You just got confirmation and you were able to move stops now down a little lower on Bitcoin here to this order block that just formed. So now your stop loss would be in profit. We'll just have this like red line. That red line's your stop loss on Bitcoin. Okay, ES and NQ are really diving now. Not great price action this morning on it. Right? Pushing out, chop, 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 and right back down to the range. So not really great price action right now on NQ and ES. Right? Because if it was good price action, it would continue, right? You would have respect to these levels, continue up higher. But it seems like we're chopping around a little bit here. You entered on the 10:37 a.m. candle. Oh, nice. On the inversion. Or back here. Not on the inversion. Are you talking about on NQ or on Bitcoin? 10:37. Because Bitcoin also inverted on this 10:37 a.m. candle. On Bitcoin? Yeah. Yeah, 10:37 a.m. candle inverted that fair value gap on Bitcoin and respected it. That was a great entry. And gave you an order block. Yeah, you're about to hit external range liquidity here. That's a great trade. That's a really good trade. Good job, Sean. Let's go, dude. I'm stoked for you. That's a really good trade right there. Okay, ES has blasted through these lows, and we've just hit into some of these 15-minute fair value gaps. And we can delete this guy. This guy's irrelevant now. Nice, dude. Let's go. That's awesome, dude. Great trade. It seems like you're able to see it, though. Like, you saw that well, right? Like, the test of the 15-minute fair value gap, test of that order block. I was waiting for a little bit more confirmation, but that was a beautiful read by you. That was really good. That was really good. Inverted fair value gap. You wait for that inverted fair value gap on the 1 minute. Boom, you're good. That was like a great sniper's trap, I'd say. Good. Let's go, dude. Let's go. I'm stoked. And Bitcoin should rip down even further. Bitcoin should attack Asia low here. So now this would be the next target for Bitcoin. Asia low. And I would take... So like the nice thing with Bitcoin... you can take... I don't know what exchange you trade on. But you could take like percentages of whatever you're left holding, right? So for me, 2R, I always take off 75%. Then at targets, so like external range liquidity, and then Asia low and whatever other targets there are, I'll take off 20% of whatever's left. So every time I'll just take off a little bit more, 20%, 20%, and keep scraping until basically there's nothing. Think NAS is going to... Yeah, I think NAS and ES are going to sell off right here. Unless we get some kind of crazy reaction from like ES at these lows, right? Because ES is at some pretty important lows and some pretty important fair value gaps. If we get some crazy reaction off of these, I think it's going to sell off too. I think you're right. Now, something I'm watching here on Bitcoin, look at this reaction we're getting off this low here. Right? Bitcoin, remember the higher time frame. Bitcoin is bullish, very bullish. If we get a big rejection here off this low and Bitcoin decides to start inverting fair value gaps to upside, that could be a potential 1 minute kill shot opportunity to go long. But again, we don't want to try to fight this falling knife if it's going to continue falling. And the fact that ES and NQ are about to continue selling off, that's not a good confluence for our Bitcoin position because Bitcoin will follow Nasdaq and ES. It does like to follow those. They are correlating assets. And in reality, like the way that Bitcoin tested these things, yeah, it'd be it might give us the opportunity. Guys, look at the 15-minute time frame on Bitcoin. See how it's respecting this fair value gap that's over here. I'm watching it. I might take the risk. I might try to take a stab at this Bitcoin position. It's at that 15-minute fair value gap. It's not there yet. It's not inverting it yet, but yeah, I have the Bitcoin position set up potentially. That we might try to go long here on Bitcoin. But I need to wait for that 1 minute inversion Because what I'm liking is this 5 minute, if it fails to displace this low inside this 15-minute fair value gap, right? It definitely could come up and attack this external range liquidity. But I want to see first. I want to see what goes down here. I'm going to erase this stuff just to get out of the way. Oh, nope, not that. Just so we can have a clear view of what's going down here and what we're looking for. Still no inversion, so I'm still just waiting. ES and NQ are dumping right now. Look at ES. All right, Bitcoin might just give us, in 20 seconds, it's very close to inverting this fair value gap. If it gives it to us, I'm going to put my limit order, then I'll set it up on the screen so you guys can watch it. Okay, no inversion still yet. It's close. But we did just get a new 5 minute candle. I love the fact that this candle pushed down, failed to displace this low, and then left us a bullish candle off of it. Now the danger is, what if Bitcoin creates a bearish order block, right? But I think this should be a solid trade. Yeah, no, ES and NAS, they are aggressive. They are aggressive. Definitely not trying to catch that guy. I'm kind of bummed that ES and Nasdaq didn't give us, you know, what we were kind of looking for. Like if NQ could have just been a little higher in this footprint up here, I would have definitely been down to take this short. But the fact that it was just kind of still floating right in this level, with a lot of bullish displacement, I was like, And you know, that's going to happen, right? When you decide to be patient, waiting for what you want and the setup that you want to come to you, you might miss some trades, and that's okay. One thing I want to do though is just double check, did I miss something, right? Like what I want to do, once Bitcoin kind of makes up its mind here, if it's going to give it to me or not, I want to go up to higher time frames to see if I missed anything here, and then make sure and then take a note of that for next time. But I don't think I missed anything here. I don't think there's anything in regards to higher time frame footprints where Nasdaq did this. Okay, Bitcoin is just playing around in this fair value gap right now. Still has yet to invert it, but it's playing around in this fair value gap. Let me see. NQ is in this 15-minute fair value gap, and then ES is dumping. ES is diving to London low. I think at this point with NQ and ES, I want to wait for him to hit London low at least. And because if you look at London low, right, London low has this 15-minute fair value gap on both of them right nearby. So I'd want to see what it does at that low. And I think that is also like around 50% of that bullish impulse move that happened on ES and NQ. Look at the 1 hour on Bitcoin. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Yeah, like ideally Bitcoin, if we're going to catch a long, would be in this area. Like it does look like it wants to go lower because we have, right, go to your discount and your range. Right? We're not even in discount before we go long. Now, the reason why I'm kind of willing to take this risk on Bitcoin is we do have a 1 hour fair value gap up here that price could come up and retest before it rips down. And that would be like the move I'm trying to go for, is like a little retracement. Right? Because we're bouncing off this 15-minute fair value gap. We could push up and target these highs or this 15-minute fair value gap we have yet to test. Yeah, so you're not shooting, right? For if we do take a long here on Bitcoin, you're not like shooting for Asia high, or you're not shooting for it to come to day high. You're just shooting for like a little retracement. Like we wouldn't be expecting a good move here, like a big move. We'd be expecting like, hey, we're probably only going to be able to lock in 2R on this trade. And that's probably it. Now it could go higher, right? Or could fail. But this trade, I would say, in regards to Bitcoin, is a little bit more on the lower probability end because, right, when you look at the higher time frame, like the 1 hour, that's a pretty bearish move, right? When you look at the 15-minute, pretty bearish move. But what you're playing off of is we have this impulse move on the 15-minute. Price is targeting a lower 15-minute fair value gap on this level, failing to displace this low. And you're targeting maybe a little retracement on that. So, but it looks like price on Bitcoin is actually not going to give it to us, and it's failing to invert that fair value gap. Yeah, we're gonna delete this guy. And if you're still in this short here, right, you're actually about to get an order block to keep going short, right? So that's just something to keep in mind. Like, okay, there's still bearish confluences continuing to the downside, right? We're about to get a bearish order block, which is indicator for if we're going to try to go long, you're fighting that uphill battle, right? If it forms this order block. But you might even get a 5-minute order block here to the upside. You could even get a bullish order block, right? Which would be nice, because if we can get the inversion and then you get the order block, you would actually put stops, I think, to break even, which I would be very down to take. Because then you have like pretty much a no risk trade that potentially could work. So your RR is, like, in my opinion, the RR for this trade is there. And it looks like we're going to invert that fair value gap. So I'm going to take a stab at this. We'll see. We got about 20 seconds or 10 seconds. Hasn't inverted it yet. Actually, it might fail again. Okay. Still hasn't inverted it. Maybe this next candle. I don't think there was any short entry that we missed out on ES or NAS. There was this Nasdaq, right? It failed to displace this high. So there was that low probability 1 minute kill shot you could have taken here. But it wasn't at a key level for me. ES didn't even do it. ES didn't even sweep these highs. You see that? ES didn't even sweep them. But Nasdaq did like close above or wick above and fail to displace. Look how ES is reacting to London low right now, though. All right, Bitcoin is inverting this fair value gap. I'm going to take a stab at this. Okay. I'll set this up so you guys can see. And we might be able to even. We might be able to even take off quite a bit of risk here with Bitcoin if we can get this order block. We haven't been tapped in yet though. So hopefully it taps us in. It could run without us. Look at that big wick on NQ on these lows. See this move here? See what London low did? I'm going to be patient here on NQ because, again, that was a pretty aggressive move to the downside. And ES. But I like the reaction we're getting here. NQ didn't hit the same target that ES did. So NQ didn't go quite as low as we wanted. But we might get tapped in right here on Bitcoin. And then we can move stops up quite a bit. Because we got that order block potentially. I'm hoping we get the order block and then we get tapped in. That's what I'm hoping for here. Oh, I'm like cold in my garage right now. What was the fair value gap? Are you talking about on Bitcoin? Bitcoin had a fair value gap right here to the left that we inverted. This 1 minute fair value gap on the 10:51 a.m. candle. I'm watching in here. This might be a good opportunity, actually, to go long. Look at this 15-minute. Look at the way it's reacting to this low after hitting this 15-minute fair value gap. Same with ES. It tapped into London low in this 15-minute fair value gap and failing to displace through, and you're getting a very bullish reaction out of it. I might take this long on NQ. Let me see how many points I'm risking on it. 51. Bitcoin has yet to tap us in. Kind of bummed. And ES hit London low, but yeah, Nasdaq didn't hit the London low, but ES did. It's a pretty high risk trade. You're risking over 50 points on this stop loss here. If anything, if we got this, I think I'd want to move my stops to this guy right here, but we haven't even gotten the entry yet. Why? It tested this 1 minute fair value gap and left a wick out of it, but I kind of hope if it's not going to do it, it doesn't give us the entry opportunity. And let me see something real fast before I... Did we close below these guys at all? We did not. We haven't closed below any of those guys. Nope. Still not tapped in on Bitcoin. It's still pretty bullish. Did I leave? Nope. All right, we'll do this. The nice thing with Bitcoin is if we do get tapped in, we cut off like 2/3 of our risk. Still haven't been tapped in on Bitcoin. Kind of stinks. I think Bitcoin might run without us. In Q here might give an order block that, so if we get an entry up here, you can take off quite a bit of risk on this trade if it ends up doing it. All right, so you go here to our and then you would be able to, if you get the order block, take off. You're at 51.5 points. Oh wait, no, you'd be even deeper. Why? Oh, that's right. Yeah, you take off 20-ish points. Why does it show that on the 5 minute it goes deeper? That's weird. Why is it doing that? That's on the line. Huh. That's really weird. I'll let you guys know if I get tapped in on Bitcoin, but still nothing. It looks like it's coming down to potentially tap us in, but we'll see. So ES did invert the fair value gap, but you'd be in drawdown right now. You'd be in quite a bit. Yeah, you'd be in quite a bit of drawdown, which would not be fun. Ideally, what I would want to see is actually like price to come back down to this low one more time and sweep it. That'd be a good confirmation, like creating a double bottom and sweeping that low and then pushing off. Same for NQ. Like if it can come down to this low here that it made, fail to displace it and then sweep off. Just like with Bitcoin. Bitcoin came up, pushed down, failed to displace it, pushed off. Same idea. Yeah, it'd be way better. I agree. I think it'd be way better if Nasdaq hit London low, because of how close it is to London low. It realistically should, it should hit it. It should hit one every session, right? Price attacks at least one of the session highs or lows, right? We've hit London high, so that's one of them. And now we're potentially going to hit London low. And when it gets this close, it typically will go down and smack it. If Bitcoin over here on the left ends up creating a bullish order block here above our entry, I'm going to cancel my limit order. Because at that point, I would now want price to come down below that order block to tap me in. Because if I was in the position, I would have gotten tapped out if I was on that order block. So for me, I won't want to wait around to see if we get tapped in at that point. So we'll see if we end up getting tapped in before Bitcoin continues to run, but Bitcoin might continue to run here. So Nasdaq did just create this order block. I might actually be willing to take this because you take off quite a bit of risk here with this guy right there. If it comes up, it has to come up and invert this, but nice thing is we get to take off quite a bit of risk. So you're only risking now, instead of over 50 points, you're only risking around 32 points, which is much more comfortable for me, in my opinion. Okay, it looks like Bitcoin's going to come and tap us in. Now, hopefully it doesn't immediately tap us out, because if this could be where it creates a bearish order block and continues the downside, but we will see what price does here. But we are tapped in. Let me show the BLOFIN P&L. Look at Nasdaq pushing down even further. I'd say this trade here on Bitcoin is not like the best trade you can take, but we have all of our entry requirements, and at that point, this is a staying disciplined with the model. Let me fix all this so you guys can see the actual position. There it is. So there's the Bitcoin position there. We were able to take off. It's a little bit more of a riskier trade. Yes, I'd say on this Bitcoin one, it's a little bit more of a riskier trade. But what I'm doing here is I'm keeping my emotions out of this one and staying mechanical, because we did get every entry requirement for this 1 minute kill shot. What are all the entry requirements? Let's break it down. We are in a 15-minute fair value gap, right? We swept this 5-minute low after price came up, came back down, swept it, and failed to displace inside a higher time frame footprint, right? Now, not only did we get that, we got bullish order blocks to the upside, giving us good confirmation that prices, that buyers are winning a little bit, right? Now, we still have this big move here, but buyers are starting to win in this level because they're giving us order blocks. Another good confirmation would be, can we invert this 5-minute fair value gap? So for me, every entry requirement was there on this trade. I'm willing to take it, and I'm willing to take the risk and get out of my head of like, I don't know, right? And just stick to, those are our entry requirements. We execute. End of the story, right? And we were able to take off over half our risk. We're only risking, typically we risk $50-ish, right? $50 to like $60 per trade. This one right now, we're only risking $20. So I will take that every single day that we're able to take off over half our risk and get a good entry confluences. So for me, I'm willing to take this risk. And as you can see right now, we tested that 5-minute order block and getting a really good bullish reaction and wick off that order block. Right? Yes, exactly, Sean. Again, if we look at Bitcoin's higher time frame, like the 1 hour and the 4 hour, what is the ultimate trend? Extremely bullish, right? Break of structure to the upside. Pulls back down, breaks the structure to the upside, right? We're very bullish on Bitcoin in higher time frames. So this trade is going along the higher time frame analysis. And we might just get another order block right here, that'd be amazing. Where the bummer thing about NQ and ES, this short is going alongside the higher time frame analysis. It just didn't give us what we wanted, right? It didn't give us what Bitcoin gave us over here, which is perfect. It just didn't give it to us. And that is what it is, but and so we're going to be patient on Nasdaq and ES. Let me set up alerts so I can just know BDC hit TP. On Bitcoin, we will take 75% off at that high up there. So at this level up here at 2R, right? It's not at 2R right now, so it's a 4.6R from what we're risking. But if we go back down to where we original was, that's 2R up there. And that's where we'll take off 75% of our position if we're able to make it there. I'm feeling pretty confident today in my able to read the market. I'm feeling really confident today. And I'm feeling good. That work that I put in on those other times, is helpful. I'm feeling like I'm clearly seeing the market today. Those days when you feel like you're I can just clearly see the market, oh, they feel good. Is that Bitcoin account on a funded account? No. Well, it is funded, but by me, not like a prop firm. I put $5,000 into a Bitcoin account on BLOFIN. That's the main exchange I use for all my crypto trading for futures. If you use code Maniac, you can join up, and then I do special giveaways and stuff within that, and you guys get special discounts and stuff and deposit back bonuses. So if you want to use BLOFIN, that's what I use. I deposit 5K in there, and this account that you see me trading is a 5K Bitcoin account that I funded myself, and I'm just gonna be trying to grow it and see how far we can grow it. But it's all my money. I don't use, when it comes to crypto trading, I do not use prop firms. I just use my own money, and I use leverage. That's what I use. I'm gonna go to the restroom real fast. Actually, wait. I'm gonna wait for this 5-minute candle to close, see how it closes, then we got a minute, and then see if we get an order block. So if I can move my stop losses up, and then I'm gonna go to the restroom real quick. I should probably do more content on my Bitcoin account. Like, I opened up a $5,000 Bitcoin account, and this is where it's at. The trades that we've taken. I'm gonna start doing more content on the short form of that. I would really love it if we can get an order block here on Bitcoin, and we could literally take off 100% of our risk, pretty much. I mean, you'd be risking like $10-ish, but for me, that's amazing. The bummer thing with the Bitcoin account that I wasn't realizing is we were in a little bit of a hole. I think I lost like maybe $100 in the account. I think we're at like $4,800 or $4,900 in the account, and we were taking winning trades. But I was like, why is it like we're taking winning trades, but why is the account not growing? Like, the account isn't like getting bigger. Like, we've taken multiple $100 trades that won. We should be over 5K, and then I was realizing that the fees were like eating up some of the stuff. So I was like, oh, I got to be a little bit more careful on the trades I take, because the fees were eating up like the profits and not allowing the account to grow. So that's why I'm trying to be a little bit more comfortable, or a little bit more wiser on the positions I take, so we don't we take just better trades. How many contracts can I buy on a 15K funded account on Nas? Is a 15K like your own money? Like you're not using a prop firm, like you're putting 15K into Nasdaq or into like, say, a TradeAway brokerage account? Oh, prop firm? 15K. I don't know any prop firm that has a 15K, but say the like Apex has 25K, and I think usually you can do anywhere from like 3 to 5 minis or 30 to 50 micros if you did a 25K, I think. Let me look real fast. We can look. Let's go to Apex. Typically, the smallest account size you can get on prop firms is 25K. Let's see. 25K here. Come on. What is going on here? Let me. Okay, hang on. It's just gotta. Oh, come on. Why is it not letting me? There we go. So 25K on Apex. You could trade 4 minis or 40 micros, which is still a pretty big contract size. I trade the 50K. I can do up to 10 or 100 micros. Beautiful. Beautiful on Bitcoin. We're getting an order block here. I'm gonna wait for this 5-minute candle to close before I leave and go to the restroom, because I think we're about to get an order block. And then I'll head off to go to the restroom real quick. I'm not closing down stream yet. Let me make sure all my accounts are synced. Oh wait, we're on Bitcoin, so it doesn't even matter. Okay. Does Apex work on EU? What do you mean by EU? Like Forex trading? Or like Europe, like you're buying with European dollar? Or like European currency? Oh, because you're in Germany, right, Sean? It should. I'm pretty sure it does. Like Euro USD, like, sorry, I'm a little confused. It should. I'm pretty sure there's traders in Europe who, yeah, let's see. If I live in Germany, can I trade on Apex? Yes, if you live in Germany, you can trade on Apex Trader Funding. Germany is not listed as a restricted country. Here we go. Oh, that page isn't available from Apex. Oh, dang it. Bitcoin, come on. Just gonna keep letting it go. It looks like you can, yeah. Yes, Apex Trader Funding allows traders to remain in a simulated trading environment indefinitely while still being eligible for withdrawals. Yeah, looks like you can. What's up, Lemonhead? You think BTC hits 107? Today? I don't know. Let's see, where's 107? 107's around Asia high. I don't know if it'll hit that today, but I think it'll go back to it eventually because of the higher time frames, right? It might be like 107's the previous day high, or not a previous day, sorry, a daily high. And ultimately, right, Bitcoin's pretty bullish right now. Yeah, I think we would definitely return there. I don't know when though. It might not be until maybe end of week this week or maybe next week, but I think we do end up going to back to 107. 25K funded, yeah, that's a good account size to start with. 25K is the easiest one to try to pass for an eval for sure. 106.5. Ooh. Yeah, that's a rough entry if you went long. Yeah, we could go lower right now. I have a long, but I'm not really shooting for much higher than like 105.888. And honestly, it looks like price is kind of failing to displace the upside and give me what I was wanting, and I think I'm gonna get stopped out here. Oh, hopefully you're not over leveraging yourself. Yeah, I think I might be getting stopped out here on Bitcoin. Depending on how it reacts to this 1 minute low here. It looks like price is going to actually continue to the downside instead of continuing up. The fact that it didn't invert this fair value gap like I was hoping and can create that order block. It looks like price is going to stop me out here. Maybe. I mean, it still has these 5 minute lows right here. That could help hold some support, but I'm not quite sure yet. We got to see how these candles form. What would be nice is if this 5 minute can create an order block on this guy. Then our stop loss would actually be in profit. So how do you trade? You hold all your money in cash and just sit. I day trade, so I scalp. So I have a BLOFIN exchange, and then I day trade Bitcoin on like the 5-minute and 1-minute time frame. So for me, like my day trading strategy is what's called the 1-minute kill shot, and I wait for small scalps. I'm not a swing trader. So for me, I look for small moves, small intraday moves. And I have a system that I just follow, a mechanical system that I follow to a T, or try to be as disciplined as I can to follow it. Sometimes I mess up. Yeah, I would ask you, Lemonhead, what were your confluences to go long up there? Okay, you intraday scalp too. Okay, cool. Sweet. It looks like we might actually be getting an order block here, and we be able to move stop losses into profit here and actually lock in a winning trade. We got 30 seconds left here. Oh, maybe not. It's going to give it to... Come on, give it to us. Ah, come on. You're about to do it. Dang it, dude. I thought I was going to give it to us. It was looking so good. All right, well, we didn't get that order block. Markets need to go up to go down. Yeah, for me, where price was on Bitcoin, it looked pretty like it could go bearish just because of the range on Bitcoin here, this impulse range. It was kind of getting choppy. I was looking for shorts up here. It never came for us, but okay, it looks like this long might not play out here. Okay, and Nasdaq just hit London low. We'll see how Nasdaq reacts here at London low and this 15-minute fair value gap. Can we get a nice rejection wick and fail to close below this low here? And maybe that gives us an opportunity to go long on Nasdaq. Same for ES. ES is failing to displace that low at London low again. Maybe it gives us something. 3.5 minutes on this 5-minute candle. Maybe we can potentially go long on NQ. There's no fair value ups though. That same. Oh wait, is this one? Is this open still? I think it got inverted already. It did. So that same fair value up over here is the only one we got. We'll see what price gives us. I'm really hoping the 5-minute on Bitcoin here can hold these wick lows and push off of them. It's not looking great though at the moment. I mean, if you're intraday scalping, like, yeah, I think you're like, cause you're intraday scalping, you're looking for short moves, right? I mean, it depends on like the type of scalping you're doing. I don't know your model, but for me, I don't hold trades like if I take a Bitcoin trade, I don't usually hold it longer than like the longest I'll ever hold a Bitcoin trade is probably like 3 to 4 hours but that's a crazy long trade. If I ever hold one that long, they're typically around an hour or less. Because you're just looking for those small moves. Do you have a clear like system or model that you're following, Lemonhead? Because I would say that like that needs to be a clear if you're going to be trading, you know. And I always say never buy into something that's losing. Yeah, like if you're in a trade that's losing, don't add to that, because if it's going the opposite direction, it probably means you're on the wrong side of the market. All my money stays in USDT, and then I'll open intraday positions in Bitcoin, and then I'll close them back to USDT. So I don't keep any assets in the actual asset. I like to wait for liquidity sweeps. Yeah, that's one of my confluences. But I have a lot of confluences. It's not just a liquidity sweep. Liquidity sweeps are really good to wait for. Like, for example, this one here, we had a good liquidity sweep here that failed to displace that low and push off. But it looks like this one might not fail, which we knew going into that this was a riskier trade to take. But what would be nice is if we don't get stopped out here, but Nasdaq flips bullish, and so does ES, and we get that momentum flowing into Bitcoin too. We might get stopped out here on Bitcoin. We might. NQ is giving me a good reaction off this London low and this 5-minute low here. Bitcoin, it is what it is. If we get stopped out, we get stopped out, but I'm not like too worried about it. We were able to take off a lot of our risk, over 50% of our risk. And now we just let it play out. We don't have anything that says we can move our stop loss up yet, and we don't have anything that says we should close our position. So we just wait to either stop out or not. Yeah, Nasdaq right now, there's not a single fair value gap on the 1 minute. It's just wick city and like pretty choppy. The nearest fair value gap is just this one up here that we originally looked at, and that's a fat stop loss, which makes me almost not want to take the trade because of just how much we'd be risking. Like ES has a little bit closer of one, but we're not trading ES because we're still kind of learning that asset. Let's see. Will Bitcoin hold here? I don't think it's gonna hold. You guys will see in the P&L. Okay, we did get stopped out on Bitcoin. But we were able to take off a lot of risk, and we only lost about $20 on that trade. 22 after fees, I think it's 22.53 is what we lost. So this is our Bitcoin, that trade we just took, a very small loss, and we can definitely recover. Like that's not something that like really hurts the account. So bummer that we lost. We knew going into it was a little bit riskier, right? Because we're going against this downtrend here, but we stayed mechanical and stuck to the model that we have, and it didn't work out, and that's okay. We were able to take off risk. That's the bonus. We're able to preserve capital for the next trade. I'm gonna watch Nasdaq over here. Still no fair value apps. We'll see if Bitcoin again comes down and maybe gives us a second sweep of liquidity here. Bitcoin. Are you going to do this to me today? Is Bitcoin going to do this to me today? Oh. Oh. Bitcoin might just do it to me. Dang, that's a bummer. Bitcoin might just continue its bullish momentum here and leave us in the dust. We'll see though. Let's see, Nasdaq, still nothing. Still nothing on Nasdaq. Did the 15-minute close to this fair value? It did. So we're gonna delete this guy. We're gonna delete this guy, clean up some things, and add some new ones, because now that we got some new 15-minute fair value gaps. Okay. Do you have any over here? We have this very large 15-minute fair value gap on in Q. Okay. And Bitcoin still pretty choppy in here. Dang. Yeah, Bitcoin might have just tapped us out to then continue on. Which would be a bummer if it did that to us. But we stuck to the model. Is the sweep the most important characteristic for a trade? No, I don't think it's the most important characteristic of a trade. It's just a good confluence, right? If you, I assume you know what a confluence is. It's where, like, there's things that add to your probabilities of whether this trade's winning or losing. I think the most important thing to a trade is, are you waiting for the setup to come to you at a key point of interest, right? Are you just taking trades to take a trade, or are you waiting for it to hit a key level before you take that trade? And I think that's what's most important in a trade. Man, I'm bummed. I think Bitcoin might just run without us here. Tap this out and then to run. Okay, I just buy and get hit with fat anxiety for the oh my gosh. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That was pretty funny. Like, I just get fat anxiety for the next hour and a half while I'm just sitting in this trade. Oh, dude. Yeah, I don't recommend that. Just waiting to make profit, yeah. I recommend having some kind of clear model. And if it sounds like you do not trade with a stop loss, you should be trading with a stop loss. You should definitely be trading with a stop loss. Because there's impermanent loss if you do not trade with the stop loss. Are you trading spot or with leverage, Lemonhead? Do you trade with leverage or spot? So you're spot trading? Okay, that's a little better. That's a little better. Because leverage trading could get really bad because you can get liquidated. And that's why it's really important to have a stop loss. But yeah, if you're spot trading, you know, have levels that you're watching that, you know, hey, if it goes to this level, right? Like, say if I were you, right? And you took a long up here, right? For me, as soon as price would hit these lows or this low, that would have been for me a signal to close, and like a signal that, hey, we're probably on the wrong side of the market here. Like, find higher time frame key levels, like 15-minute. These 15-minute lows that push up to break structure to the upside. That should be a level that you watch, that if price returns to that and displaces through it, we should not be in this long anymore. We should probably go short, right? So I would highly recommend, one, you start trading with a stop loss, because you could get into a really bad position. You could get into a really bad position like that. And then two, look for swing points, key levels, and try to create a model. I'd say that's something you should definitely do. Try to create a trading model that supports, you know, and keep something mechanical where you don't think you just execute. Lemonhead, I see you're on YouTube. I have a video that just came out yesterday. It talks about Apex and passing evals, but if you want to go into that video, I have 3 trading models in there that I use every day. So if you want to use one of those, they all work on Bitcoin because I've used them on Bitcoin. I trade Bitcoin every day. And if you want to go steal those, go steal my trading models that are in that video and go practice them. Don't just like go right into it and start day trading with live money. I'd recommend going and back testing or paper trading with them to learn them. And then once you're like green, I always say this, when you use a model and you're paper trading it and you can be green for an entire month, then you can go to the live market. Yeah. Can you look at my trading coin? I'll stick to just looking at this stuff. I don't really go into like technical analysis on all these random coins. Yeah. Because I gotta watch here too. Because I guess it did just break this low, so we have an invalidation of any long here on Nasdaq at this point. I'd want to see what it does at this low here. Yeah. And this one's still good. ES is still good. It's a bummer on Bitcoin. It's looking pretty good. It failed to displace these lows. Like it failed to like push to this external range of liquidity and push off. I wonder if it's going to end up working out. I don't know. Typically when it stops out, it actually doesn't. It typically doesn't work out. But sometimes it does. So here's a great, Sean. Here's a great sniper's trap example. You have a 5-minute liquidity sweep at a higher time frame point of interest that also tapped in this 15-minute fair value gap. You're getting a 15-minute order block here. That could be an entry right there. And then also, I think it's even giving a 1-minute kill shot here. Yeah, it is. Yep. You're inverting that. So MES is giving a 1-minute kill shot here. I'm so tempted to take this trade on MES. I'm so tempted, but we're not supposed to be taking any trades on MES yet. We're going to use this as a paper trade and take notes of it. Does it work? Can we trust it? It should work. I don't know if we'll even get tapped in, but this would be a 1-minute kill shot right here on MES. Yeah, you're welcome, dude. I wonder if ES will tap you in on this guy or not. Yeah, ES is pumping. I do recommend prop firm accounts, but not for crypto. If you're trading crypto, I'd say stay away from prop accounts and just either paper trade until you figure out a model and then use your own money. But if you want to trade like Nasdaq and gold and S&P 500, I would say prop firm accounts are a great place to start because you're gonna use a lot lower amount of your capital, right? Like you can buy right now on Apex, you could buy a funded account for like, if you bought a 25K funded account, you're spending probably under $30. Actually, it might even be lower than that. It might even be like $20 for an account to do the eval, and then $40 for an activation fee. And now you can potentially grow that account to get payouts. And you're in a total of less than $100 on the account, right? Now it depends on how many times you fail that eval, you know, and it can rack up. Be careful with doing prop firms because you can definitely rack up some costs. But I think prop firms are great opportunities for people with low amounts of capital and who don't want to risk their own capital first and rather risk like do something with like prop firms. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. $30 for the eval. So you have to pass the eval. And then you're looking at $40 for the activation fee. And then you could get payouts from those accounts. Yes, it's a lot of experience gained. Yeah. And you can utilize those accounts very well. And they require you to follow specific rules. So it's important that you stick to their rules that they have, which helps make you a better disciplined trader too. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So ES looks like it's ripping here and not even going to tap you in on this inversion and run without you. In Q, the thing I don't like about in Q, it closed below this low and invalidated my long. So even if it gives me the 1 minute kill shot entry up here, I can't take it because it was invalidated by the break of the low here on this candle. So we'll see if in Q maybe retraces, sweeps the low again and gives us something. But as of right now, NQ hasn't given me anything. ES gave us one, but we're paper trading ES because it's a newer asset for us. But one thing actually with ES and NQ, oh, this is actually could be good. Look at what is NQ doing? It's retracing back into this 15-minute fair value gap. This large 15-minute fair value gap we have here. This is an untested 15-minute fair value gap. And if it hits this high, failing to displace and wicking off, that would be a really good actual short opportunity here on NQ actually. Yep, and an order block incoming here. But still, this setup here was invalidated by this 11:50 a.m. candle because it closed below this wick here. Like that. See how it closed below that low? It's invalidated for us. But this right here is pretty exciting because it looks like it's wicking. Yep, it wicked above that high. You're getting a way better RR if we were able to catch a short here. Yeah. And that's right before I would have never paid attention to this 15-minute fair value gap. Before I would have just looked for the pattern, right? But now, like the fact that this retracement, right? And remember on Nasdaq and ES, the overall trend on Nasdaq and ES is bearish, not bullish. Where Bitcoin overall trend is bullish, ES and Nasdaq, the overall trend is very much bearish. So I'm going to wait and see how this 5-minute candle closes on Nasdaq and see if we get a nice wick off this level here. And then we have to wait for this 5-minute candle to close to see what kind of reaction it gives us. And then we look at that 1 minute time frame if we get the reaction we want from the 5. Dude, I've still not gone to the restroom. I still need to go to the bathroom. I keep saying that, dude, but every time I'm like wanting to see what's going down. All right, dude, look at ES. Look at ES. Dang it, Nasdaq, you suck. Why couldn't you have given me the proper opportunity? Honestly, though, but if you look at this price action, it's pretty choppy, right? Price pushed up, immediately pushed all the way back down, right? Price broke structure to the upside, then literally pushed down, broke structure to the downside. Now it's ripping back up into this level. Nasdaq looks pretty choppy at the moment. So like this isn't the ideal environment you want to like start taking trades in, because you're not in like price isn't holding a clear trend, right? Price should have, if it's going to be clean price action and good clean price action, it should have held these levels here and continued up higher. That's clean price action. This right now is like kind of choppy. Dude, yes, that would have been nice if it would have given it to you. All right, I'm gonna go to the restroom. It doesn't look like it's gonna give us what we want. I'll be right back. Okay. Yeah, okay. Price broke through it on Nasdaq. Bitcoin, you little sucker. Let's go, Don. Let's see. Sorry, I missed some chats here. Let's go, dude. Good job, Don. Looks like ES never tapped us in. ES definitely never tapped us in on here. It just ripped without us. But yeah, I'm like semi paper trading ES. I'm not like really like paper trading properly because I can't. My live broker account is on this one, so we're not gonna we can't put a simulated trade in. But we just watch for like, do the trades work on ES2. Dang, Bitcoin did us dirty over here. Tapped us out and then literally ran up. That's a bummer. Good job, Don. I'm happy for you, dude. That's a great trade. Nasdaq didn't even tap you in either. You know, you have this Nasdaq inverse fair value gap over here. I don't even think Nasdaq tapped you in either. Yeah, no, it never tapped you in. Oh. One thing I've been debating on with just the 1 minute kill shot is I mean, micro almost made 300, but just made nice, dude. One thing I've been debating on the 1 minute kill shot is stop doing the limit and just buy, just market buy on the inversion, because then you like the limit might save you a little bit in drawdown, but if you market buy, you just know you're gonna get tapped into that position. Right? Like, for example, ES over here, you didn't get tapped in, which means you missed out on this entire move. But if you would have market bought, you definitely would have been, right? You get in it either way. Same for Bitcoin. Sometimes Bitcoin will not come back and tap you in. It just runs. Still nothing new in regards to 15-minute time frames. Oh, you do potentially have a fresh 15-minute fair value up on ES. Oh, we can delete this guy. So something here with ES, right, is another good example for sniper's trap. You have this 5-minute fair value gap on ES. You could wait for price to retest that 5-minute fair value gap. You also have this order block here on ES that you can see if price is going to retest. Trading is gambling dependent on your like trading model, right? If you're going to the market just buying and hoping that it goes up, or selling and hoping it goes down, and you don't really know why you bought or sold, or you don't really know why you are executing trades, you're 100% gambling. You do not have a strategy. You do not have a model. You do not have a mechanical structure that you can follow every single day. You're gambling 100%. Now, if you're someone like me, I'm still learning, right? I'm still on my profitable, like trying to become a consistently profitable trader. I'm in my learning journey. For me, I have structure. I have a clear and structured model, and I'm trying to figure it out, right? And make sure that it works and consistently growing accounts and like getting payouts. For me, I'd say I'd say I lean more on like I'm more 10 to 20% gambling because I still don't quite understand fully, right? I'm not like a guy who's been trading 10 years who he understands everything extremely well, like some of the people that I watch on YouTube or some other traders who you see on like Instagram or TikTok or whatever, who are making, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. They have the time, right? They have 10, 5+ years, 7+ years, 10+ years in the market. They have structure that is sound and been foolproof because they just have the time in the market, and they stick to it mechanically. I would say is 100% they're not gambling. They are sticking to a strategy that works and they know it works. So I'd say it depends on where you're at in your learning journey. And it depends on where you're at and what you're willing to be in regards to discipline. Because some people, I've talked to people who they're like, I don't care. I don't care about stop losses. I'm just going to risk whatever I want to risk. I want to go big or go home. And I'm like, I'd say that's gambling. At the end of the day, the goal of your day trading is preserve capital and stay mechanical. That's what I would argue is at the end of the day, what you should be doing day trading. How much you profit average off your strat? For me, I haven't really profited off of it yet. And here's why. Because the strat I've ruined because I'm a still immature trader. And what do I mean by that? I've messed up by moving stop losses up too fast. I've messed up by reading the strategy wrong. I've messed up by a lot of different things. The model works, but I haven't been able to really profit from it yet because I'm still immature in my trading and I mess it up. Like if you were here last week in my day trading session, you would have saw Tuesday, Wednesday, I was all over the place. The model worked last week, but because I wasn't being disciplined and mechanical, it didn't work, which causes it to ruin and skew the profit factor of it. So yeah, I got emotional. I let my emotions get in the way of my trading instead of just keeping mechanical with it. You would have just got tapped in queue for if you were doing a sniper strap. So if you took this sniper strap right here, stop loss at this order block, you wait for price to come retest the fair value gap after the sweep of liquidity, you get the fair value gap here, retest the fair value gap, that would have been a sniper strap entry there. Or even if you go here to the order block, you even got tapped in on the order block too. You would have gotten tapped in on this candle for the order block. Oh, net Bitcoin. Dang it, Bitcoin, dude. Bitcoin's looking beautiful right now. Bitcoin looks like it's going to rip up. Or not rip up, but like potentially hit our target that we had up here. It's frustrating when Bitcoin does that. I did get my first payout though last week from Top Step using my 1 minute kill shot, which is the first payout I've ever received. So it's definitely moving me in the right direction in regards to profitability. Yep, exactly. And then you lose the $500 and you go on tilt, or you get all emotional and you get all frustrated, and then you start executing improperly, and yeah. We also have this 1 hour fair value gap. Let me delete this. On Bitcoin, we have this 1 hour fair value gap right here. And for Nasdaq, yeah, Nasdaq, oh my gosh. Nasdaq is looking pretty bullish right now, actually. Same with ES. ES has this 1 hour fair value gap right here, and it looks like it's going to invert it. I'm interested to see if what price on Bitcoin gives us in this 1 hour fair value gap up here. Because we still have this high up here that could get swept on Bitcoin. And it'd be in a 1 hour fair value gap. And maybe we go short. We'll see what Bitcoin gives us. Yeah, picking your entry it's hard. But when you have a mechanical structure, right, that in a model, you don't even have to think about that because the model will just tell you where the entry always goes. And if the model works, you can trust it. Did we ever invert? Nope, we didn't. Okay. And we didn't invert this one. If Nasdaq is going to go bullish, I really kind of hope it comes and sweeps this low one more time. Because if you look at this low here, it's very choppy here. We have displacement to the upside, but the move up is it lacks a lot of displacement. There's one fair value up here, one fair value up here that's clear. And so I would love to see price right now to come back down, sweep this low one more time, and then give us something too. That'd be a high probability trade if it did that and gave us a nice rejection wick off this low. This 5-minute low that I left here at London low in this 15-minute fair value gap. Yeah, that 5-minute fair value gap did get left behind. Or 15 minutes, sorry, on ES. No 15-minute fair value gap on NQ. This makes me still believe though that like we're not really fully bullish yet. If NQ could maybe sweep this high here and give us a nice rejection wick and we can go short and attack this low, that'd be something too I'd be interested in. Because that'd be within this 15-minute fair value gap too. And I think a 1 hour, nope. A 1 hour order block, but we'll see. All right, what time is it? 9:30? I might close down stream soon. We're kind of getting out of the sweet spot of the market. And what I'll do is set up alerts So what I recommend you guys do too, if you're someone who's like, you know, you day trading, you just kind of like wait for your setups to come, set up alerts at levels that you're watching, right? So like for example, Nasdaq, I'm looking at this low here on the 5-minute, and I'm looking at this high here on the 5-minute. ES, this high on the 5-minute, this low, this low here now on the 5-minute. Seeing how price reacts to those levels. So I would set alerts on there that go to my phone, because with TradingView you can send alerts to your phone. It's really nice. And I would just now, like, I plan on going to gym today. I plan on doing things like that. And I can go get work done, whatever, wait for those levels to get hit, and then come back to the chart and say, okay, do I have an opportunity now? So I might be hopping off stream here soon. I will be going live today on TikTok during Asia session. So if you want to be hanging out with me during Asia session, come hang out with me on TikTok, and we'll be trading gold and Bitcoin during Asia session. And hopefully we can catch a good trade there today. We didn't get any trades today on Nasdaq. We got one trade today on Bitcoin, but it was a $20 loss, which if we get something in Asia that's pretty good, we potentially could wipe that loss and end the day green. Or even, I mean, the day's not over for Bitcoin, so we could, even through New York, still get potentially a good opportunity with Bitcoin that'll wipe that loss. But yeah. Yes, I do. Gold during Asia session is actually really good. I actually really like it. And I trade the 1-minute kill shot. Same thing on there. I do not trade Nasdaq or ES during Asia. Terrible markets to trade. I do not trade Nasdaq during Asia. Only gold. So Bitcoin and gold are the ones I watch during Asia. Very rarely does Nasdaq set up something on during Asia, but still, the volume is so bad that it's like, I do not want to take that. I don't want to try to take that trade. I'd rather focus in on a better asset like gold. Or if you're someone who trades Forex, you can trade like the yen and some of those currencies that are based out of the Asia time zone if you're Forex. Well, okay. All right, we'll see how this 5-minute candle closes, and then I'll probably call it and shut down the stream for the day. But I really want to thank you guys for coming and hanging out and chatting with me and asking questions. I love it. I love it when you guys come and hang out. Makes the stream fun. I hope it's helping, and I hope you guys are learning from me, and I'm enjoying this the trading journey. It's a hard one. It's not easy. Like, learning how to day trade is hard. Yeah, you're welcome. But if you can master it and you can figure it out, it's something very, very well worth the effort. See you, Sean. Hope you have a great rest of your night. And I'll see you tomorrow, buddy. Thanks for hanging out, dude. I appreciate you. All right, 18 seconds. We'll see how this one closes. It looks like it might be giving actually an order block to the upside on ES. Bitcoin's like very choppy right now. It hasn't really, you know, for this long that we were in over here, it hasn't really displaced, which I would have really liked to see, you know, like it displays all this move up here. There's not a single fair value up minus this one here on the high end of this move, which isn't really ideal. You'd want the fair value gaps on the low end of the move. And it's starting to get real wicky in this 15-minute fair value gap. Like it's not really, Bitcoin's not really showing good displacement to the upside. I don't think it's broken support yet. It's kind of in this chop. You know, you have this range. So this blue line I have at the top here and the blue line I have at the bottom here. Once it hits one of these levels, you're going to see what it decides to do. Is it going to reject this level and push down lower, which is what I'm kind of watching, and I would look for a short here? Or is it going to come back down, sweep one of these lows, like maybe this low? Even this low is important too, because this is a swing low. This low swung up to make a higher high, right? Pushed down, pushed up to break above these highs here. So is it, what if it doesn't decide to come to this high, but instead comes down to one of these lows? Does it reject it and give us a long opportunity again and find support, right? So right now it's in chop. We got to figure out what it's going to do. Price is kind of like indecisive right now. All right, guys, I'm going to call it for the stream. We've been streaming now for 3 hours, and I want to thank you guys for every single one of you who hung out the whole time. You guys are amazing. I really appreciate it. I hope you'd enjoyed it, and I hope you had fun, and I hope you walk away learning something. Don't forget, we have our video that is live for passing your evals in one trade, and we're giving you 3 trading models. So go look at that. It's right on my YouTube. It's the most recent video we just released on Sunday. Go check it out. Go take notes. Bring a notepad when you're watching it and take advantage of it and take the models I have and then go back test them. Don't just take my word for it. Back test it, practice it, understand how the model works, and then go execute and take your dubs and go pass those evals. So I hope you guys found those valuable. More videos like that will be coming out, a lot more. So I'm excited. All right, everyone. I will see you guys tomorrow morning at market. Actually, I'll see you at Asia session if you're going to be there on TikTok, or tomorrow morning at market open for New York. Have a great rest of your day, everyone, and happy Monday. And thank you again to all the veterans. If you're a veteran in this chat, if you're someone who has served, thank you to all the veterans who have made sacrifices and served this country. So I just want to say thank you.